Hello. Hi. Oh, my thing's being weird. Can someone tell me if you can hear me? I never know. I don't do these often enough to get any good at them, you know? Hi, Anna. How are you, Anna? Hello. Hello. Oh, that's good. That's good. Thank you. Hi. How are you? This is really spontaneous. I just got home not too long ago and I couldn't sleep. So I just thought, you know what? I haven't spoken to you guys in a little while. So I thought I'd just come on and see how you are. So I made myself a cuppa, as you do. Actually, it's still quite hot. I might let it sit for another minute or two. So I don't have an interesting topic or anything. Is the noise from outside too loud? Because I have the door open because it's really lovely weather. But if it is, I can shut it. So let me know if it gets a bit noisy because I'm kind of on a main road, but not like a highway, if that makes sense. So I know it can get a little bit noisy, but hi. Oh, there's actually a couple of you here. That's nice. I mean, I know, okay, that's good. Thank you, Sonia. It's early in the morning here. I'm just having my coffee. Oh, lovely, lovely. Hi, Katie. How are you? Yeah, I'm not too bad. I've had a bit of an up and down couple of weeks, but I'm feeling pretty good now. I'm quite tired because Batia, the organisation that I do the speaking for, we had kind of like a little Christmas party trivia night thing. And I don't really know anyone. Like I kind of know a couple of people, but I only see them once every few weeks, so I don't know them well. And so I was terrified. But Blair couldn't come because he's working, and I just decided, you know what? I'm going to buck up the courage and I'm going to go and make some friends by myself. And I did, and I don't know that I made friends, but I certainly met some people and we had good chats and we played trivia and it was fun. There weren't any Harry Potter, Doctor Who or Eurovision questions, which meant that I wasn't especially helpful. But there were a few that I got right, but everybody didn't believe me, and they were right. But anyway, there was a few that I got right, which was fun. And we ended up coming second, so that was fun. That was cool. So that's what I've been doing tonight. And yeah, I got home and I hadn't eaten, so I kind of just got like a 6-inch sub, which is my weird guilty pleasure because my first job ever was at Subway. And so I have this weird love-hate relationship with Subway where it's like addictive to me, but I hate it, but I love it. So I had a sub and I was just watching some reruns from Mama from last night. And I was just like, you know what? I might pop on and say hi. So that's what I've been doing tonight. And my hair's all frizzy because it's been raining, so it's quite humid. So this is my hair straightened a few hours ago. I don't know how bad the quality is today, but it's kind of like wavy frizzy. It did look cute, I promise. It looked cute a few hours ago. Okay, good, the noise isn't bothering. It's 7:25 a.m. Nice. It's 11:25 p.m. for us, or for me anyway. Love how happy you are. You seem jolly right now. Yeah, I think I'm just proud of myself for having gone tonight, and I did have a good night. It was fun. Yeah. I'm in a good mood. I'm tired, but I'm good. This makes me a bit nervous too. What's that? What makes you nervous? Oh, like socializing and stuff? Yeah. Yeah, good thing you got into it. Glad you had some fun. Yeah, it was fun. It's funny, I always get nervous with trivia nights because one of my things is people thinking I'm stupid. Like that's a big like trigger for me, or like just something that really, like a lot of the anxieties and like avoidance stuff that I get into often, not always, but often will come back to me being fearful of people thinking I'm stupid. And I don't know, I think this just comes from a kind of overachieving family. Like my mum is really clever and has, like, you know, come with her studies, really big fancy awards and stuff, and my dad wasn't school smart, but he's really switched on and he's actually starting his doctorate, which is insane. And then my brother is just one of those annoying overachievers who's like picks up anything and is like, I'm gonna be good at this today, and is. So I just have a bit of a thing with people thinking I'm stupid. So I get a bit nervous around trivia, but it was fun. It was fun. Oh, hi. There's a couple of you here. That's lovely. Sorry, I'm just getting comfy. I'm on my couch. What are your plans for Christmas/Yule? Well, for me, it's not Yule. It'll be the summer solstice. But for Christmas, hello, Peekaboo Rose. Hello. For Christmas, we have a pretty chill Christmas. I love our family Christmases now. They used to be quite stressful because we used to kind of always try to get to Griffith when we lived in Brisbane, which is like was it a 12 or an 18-hour drive? I can't remember. But we used to often try to get to Griffith and do the whole family thing, and then we'd have to go see, like, you know, grandparents and aunts and uncles and nieces and nephews and whatever. And it was just stressful. It wasn't fun. But kind of since I've been an adult, really, we just do like my nuclear family, like my mum, my dad, my brother, and me, and then our partners for me and John, my brother. So there's 5 or 6 of us. Go around to mum and dad's and make some nice food. And we do Secret Santa now, which means that we each spend about $50 on one person. So we don't have to, you know, stress out about buying too many presents or anything. I still buy presents for Blair and he buys something for me, but in terms of like the family, we don't have to buy something for everybody, which is nice. And so then we just go around lunchtime. I bring a salad. Mum's cooked some food. I usually make a gingerbread with lemon icing because it's delicious and it's my specialty. And then we hang out, open our presents. Dad pretends to be Santa. And then we play games. Usually it'll be darts or bocce or cricket. And that's our day. It's like the best day. I love it. And then for Boxing Day, which is the day after Christmas, I don't know what everybody else calls it. We call it Boxing Day. I think the UK call it Boxing Day too. We have something in Australia called the Boxing Day Test, which is a cricket game. So Test is like the long cricket game that takes 5 days, but it always starts, it's in Melbourne, and it starts on Boxing Day. We've been before, which was awesome, but most of the time we just watch it on the telly. So it's kind of like the lazy post-Christmas day where Blair doesn't come because he doesn't like cricket, but especially Dad, John and I will just kind of sit around the TV reading books or playing a board game and watching cricket and having leftovers. Like, that is our Christmas and it's the best. So it was like a long-winded way to say that not much, and that's how I love it. I am going to do some things over the summer, not a lot, but at the end of January, Mum and I are going to go on a little road trip to Batemans Bay, which is like kind of it's south of Sydney, it's along the coast, and that's where my grandparents live, my mum's mum and her husband. So we're going to go there for a few days, which is lovely. I did my very first vlog, like 4 years ago or something, was when Blair and I went to Mogo, which is a tiny little like mining town near Batemans Bay. So I think I might vlog that trip just because I love my vlogs. They're a lot of work and a lot of effort, and not everybody likes them, but I love them as like a visual diary, really. And that part of the world is just really beautiful. I haven't been back. I think the last time I went was about two years ago. I think it was October 2016. Blair and I went, and it was lovely. So yeah, that'll be fun. That's for Granny's birthday. And then in February, like the weekend after I get back, I'm going up to the Gold Coast because for Eurovision this year, Australia is hosting, like, we're kind of doing like one of those competitions for us to decide who we're going to send to Eurovision, as opposed to just SBS picking internally. And they're calling it Australia Decides, I think, something like that. And it's going to be on the Gold Coast, so I'm flying up for that, and two of my friends from Brisbane are coming down, my best friend actually, and her husband now. I went to their wedding earlier this year. We've been best friends since we were like 14. No, 10. Anyway, she's going to come down and we're going to go to Eurovision. And hopefully Annie might be able to come. Annie's my friend. I speak about quite a lot because she's really special to me, and she was in my, the last vlog that I did of when we went to the Grampians. Hope Annie and Mark live on the Gold Coast, so hopefully they might be able to come too, but they work at the casino, so I don't know, might be too busy. But yeah, that's what I'm up to over the summer, which isn't really a lot, but it's a few things. Which is how I like my summers, because summer is just such a beautiful time. I love it. I love the heat, being from Queensland. And so I just try to go for bike rides and bushwalks and just walk around and enjoy the sun. And because, I don't know, of my family, my dad's side especially, we tan quite a lot. So I always end up with really bad sandal tan. But that's alright. Still wear sunscreen, kids. Oh, you're chatting heaps. Sorry, I was just kind of blabbing. I better check your comments. Thank you. It's lovely to see you all. I find it hard to push myself to socialize. Yeah, me too, but I'm really trying to make an effort. I think because, I don't know, I've realized that I rely on quite a few, like a small number of people for kind of my social, I don't know, because I am a social person. I just also need a lot of downtime, and I definitely get a lot from interacting with others. And I just realized that I definitely rely on maybe 3 or 4 people in terms of in Melbourne, people I actually spend regular time with, and that's like my mum and Blair, and they're the ones who have to bear the brunt of it. And then also my friend Sarah, who I go to sewing with and stuff, but she doesn't want to live in Melbourne forever, you know. And so I think my parents getting older, I mean, my mum's only like 50, but you know, I know Sarah wants to move away in the next few years, and I know my mum's not going to be here forever. And I don't know, I just started thinking that I need to kind of expand my social network, I suppose, just in terms of like support. Yeah. So I'm trying, I'm really trying. I do really struggle though with kind of making connections, like really proper connections where I feel good with someone. Especially because I always find there's this weird moment in a friendship, like a new friendship, where I have to kind of explain my past, and I never know when that is. Especially when people, you know, like when you start to get to know someone, you're like, oh, so what do you do? What have you, you know, I don't know. There's just questions, and it's hard. As soon as questions get to a certain point, I'm like, I have to kind of be like, oh yeah, I was in hospital after an overdose because I have bipolar, and I don't drink because I have had substance abuse issues. Like, it's just, I always get nervous about that conversation, I suppose. And also I'm just not great. I'm just not great at small talk. But I do want to make more of an effort. But it's hard. Yeah. People always say you could do better things in my life and always push, and some treat me like I'm stupid, but I don't care, because the way I see it is that they ain't doing anything in your life, for you in your life. Yeah. Hey Veronica Jude, how are you? I still have your deck, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm the worst. I've sent out all the other decks pretty much. I sold another thing today. I have to get back to a few people with emails, but I still have a few decks. Actually, I have to update that the deck lists in that video, because I have a few that have been pending for about 2 weeks, and I haven't received payment and haven't really heard from the person either, so I might have to put them back up, which is a little bit annoying, but what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Yeah, summer in Australia is fabulous. I mean, it's not great. I mean, especially like we get really bad bushfires. Queensland actually has had a lot of fires recently, which is quite unusual. Because obviously Queensland's north. I'm from Queensland, which is north, which means it's closer to the equator. It gets hotter, but because it's, you know, near the tropics, part of it's in the tropics, it tends to be more humid, which means that fires don't start so much. But they've had what, like 2 weeks of really bad fires, like some of the worst fires they've ever had. And it's not even really, like it's only just summer. Our fire season is kind of February, March. So fires can be pretty bad. And up north, we also get cyclones. But in terms of just the weather, I just really enjoy it. And the long days and the sun, and I love it. And it's like the earth smells different. I don't know, just, excuse me, I love summer. It's my favorite. Road trip, yes. I'm a huge fan of the Australian cricket team. Huge fan of Michael Clarke. Any favourite cricket players? I mean, Clarkey doesn't play anymore these days. I did really love Steve Smith, who was our captain until our cheating scandal. Our ball tampering scandal. I love Lions and Stark. I suppose I really like the bowling order at the moment, and partly it's because they're also carrying us a lot of, like, our batting order aren't doing us a whole lot of favors at the moment. I really like Lyon. He's got a bit of a, and Stark. They're kind of got a bit of a character to them. But I do like Steve Smith, and he's doing some really good stuff actually at the moment while he's on his year off. Never liked Warner though. Never liked Warner. And I'm glad. I kind of hope he doesn't come back. I know he's a great batsman, but he's a wanker. And I kind of blame most of that scandal on him, really. But there you go. There's cricket. I do love the cricket. It's just something I've grown up watching. I'm not like as into it as I used to be, but it's just something about cricket and summer. Just putting on the cricket. And I love the tests because like it goes for 5 days. And I mean, people say cricket's boring, and I understand what they mean in that it can be a bit slow, but that's part of the charm of it, I think. And it means that you can kind of sit down and read or listen to music and just kind of have it on the background, on the background, and just kind of, I don't know. It's just kind of like my background music for summer, and I love it. I do love that we're playing India though, because I love Kohli. I've always loved Kohli. He is just so funny. He's like one of the only ones that'll really give it back to people like Warner, because Warner's a wanker. And he just is a bit of a baby, really. Like, he really is mean to the other teams, but he can't handle it back. And so Kohli will do things like blow him a kiss. Like, just, like, you know, not like a retaliating, like, oh, fuck you, whatever. It's just like, yeah, come on. Like, I'm the one beating you right now. I love him. I love Kohli. Do you like cats? I do like cats, but I'm not a cat person. I'm definitely a dog person. Partly just my personality. I just love dogs, and dogs seem to like me. But also I'm really allergic to cats. I'm allergic to dogs as well, but nowhere near as badly. Like, I just kind of get a runny nose and itchy eyes with dogs, whereas with cats, like, it's like that times 10. So I like cats. And I love individual cats, but I wouldn't say I love cats. I love dogs. So I'm sorry, I'm not a cat person. Sounds awesome. Hope you guys have a great time. I'm sure we will. Summer is alright for me. I love spring and winter. I love spring too, and I love autumn. I like winter, but I struggle with it. I think because of the shorter days and also just the weather. It's not my favorite time of year, but that's okay. Hello, butterfly. How are you? Oh, it's lovely to see you. Oh, but how is everybody? I don't want to stay on too long because it is quite late, but I don't know. Actually, you know what made me decide to come on? I was thinking about it, right? Actually, I suppose I need to start earlier in the story. I have not been enjoying using tarot for a little while now. I don't know, just a few weeks. Where's the lid? which I mean might sound terrible, but it's true. I just haven't felt drawn to using my cards the last few weeks. But I had a bit of a hard week last week with some stuff happening, which was really intense and gave me a lot of feels. And I found myself wanting cards, but not any of the cards that I have. What I wanted was an old deck that I used to have, which was the Guardian Angel Tarot by Doreen Virtue. And I know Doreen isn't, you know, the most liked person in this community, but whatever. I'm not here to debate Doreen Virtue and, you know, all of that. I love this deck. And I don't really know why I got rid of it the first time. I think I just wasn't using it. But I got it again because I saw Hay House in Australia were doing like $10 decks, which is a pretty big deal because normally these go for like $30. So I got it and I was just shuffling it, and I've been kind of just pulling a card, kind of like the old classic, just pull a card a day, you know. And I got home and I was like, I kind of want to do a live chat, but should I? I don't know. And I drew a positive recognition, which I think is the Sun card. Yeah, it is the Sun card. And it says, congratulations, your plans have worked out perfectly, and now it's time to shine. Brilliant new ideas will present themselves to you, and success is all but assured. Express yourself openly and honestly, knowing that those surrounding you are trustworthy. Be open to unexpected opportunities. And especially like that last part, the express yourself openly and honestly, knowing that those surrounding you are trustworthy, and be open to unexpected opportunities. That kind of really touched me and gave me the feels, because I think, I mean, I've spoken to you guys a little bit about how I've struggled with the online space, and I think that part of it, and I've spoken about like me feeling disenfranchised and a bit resentful about a lot of it, but I think that was a nice reminder that, and I know this, but sometimes you just need to really feel it as well as know it, that most of you are trustworthy and wonderful and kind and generous and compassionate and not assholes. So, so the Guardian Angel Tarot. So if you're happy I'm here, you can thank the Guardian Angel Tarot. If you're annoyed that I'm here, because I know there will be some of you, you can blame the Guardian Angel Tarot. But yeah, so that's yeah. I actually also wanted to ask you guys a question. I've realized that I have 2 videos. They're uploaded, but I never made them live. Actually, what are they? I don't know how to do this. Oh no, wait, hang on. Just trying to have a look at what they were called. Oh god, I still have so many comments I haven't replied to. I'm not really replying to all the comments on my old videos. Most of them are new people finding my videos through searches, and they're just like questions that I just can't be bothered to answer, really. Which sounds terrible, but it's true. Okay, so I have my unboxing and first impressions flip through of the Dark Days Tarot. And then I also have a deck trading and shopping, like a bit of a opinion-y chat video that I did, like, I must have filmed that about 3 or 4 months ago. So I have those 2 videos that are literally like uploaded, but that I haven't made public, that I haven't published. And I wasn't sure if you guys wanted me to, like, is it just a bit old for them to be going up now? And like a lot has changed since I did those videos, but I don't know. I think maybe like the Dark Days first impression, like that might be worth having up, but I don't know about the other one. So I thought I'd ask you guys what you think. Like, would you want me to put those 2 videos up even if I'm not really making videos at the moment? Or I don't know. Let me know what you think. The Dark Days is a beautiful deck. I really like it. Oh, hiya, computer meh. Crap. Ugh. Rush to watch Avalon's catch up for Bonestone and then midnight UK, not dinner time. Then saw you were on. Hello, how are you, Billy? Frosty, you okay? I don't know what that accent was. I apologize to everyone. Yeah, I forgot what I was saying. Yes, Deck Talk, you will be back. I don't... Ooh, the trams are going past. Yes, Deck Talk, you will be back. I'm still not sure, to be perfectly honest. I don't know. Yeah. But I mean, these little live chats every now and then are nice, aren't they? Until, in the meantime, there are a few videos that I want to make because I make them every year and I kind of want them as record for myself. Like I always make the like collection video, so just going through all of the decks that I currently own, which I like because I think it's interesting to go back and kind of have a look at what decks I accumulated and when. And then I also wanted to do the favorite tarot and oracle decks of the year, which is again something I do, or I've done every year that I've been on here, I think. So it's like I want to do those videos so that I have them, but I know that then people will think that I'm back, and I'm not sure that I'm ready to be. So I'm not sure. That's another thing I'm not sure about. It's so complicated. I'm sure it's not complicated, I just make it complicated. But I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you think it'd be weird for me to just pop up a few videos and then bugger off again? Or is that, I don't know. I don't know. Hi Miles, how are you? It's lovely to see you. Glad you're here, missed you. Oh, thank you. You should upload them. Okay. Well, what Veronica Jude says goes. So there's no arguing with the one and only Veronica Jude. Yeah, I suppose it seems like a bit of a waste, doesn't it, not to put them up? Like, I mean, I don't always put up every video I make. Some just don't turn out quite right. But there's nothing really wrong with those videos. Although I might rewatch the collecty one. It was basically my opinion on, for me, I remember being on Facebook, and this is literally months ago. Like if I put the video up, you'll see like the hair and what I'm wearing. If you go back, you can work out like when I filmed that video. Because I often film more than one. So there'll be some video 3 or 4 months ago where I'm, you know, dressed the same. But I remember seeing on Facebook people saying that they were finding the whole cycle of decks coming out every, you know, so many decks coming out all the time. They were finding that really stressful, like they couldn't keep up. And I just remember thinking that was so sad. Because I don't have that feeling at all. I mean, I have plenty of decks and sometimes I splurge and whatever, but I don't feel like this. What I got from what they were saying was this kind of like desperate frenzy to keep up. And I just thought that was really sad. So I made a video basically explaining kind of like my own view on my collection. And I mean, obviously I've kind of done a bit of a destash, so my collection has changed quite a bit. But I don't think really my opinion from that video has changed so much. Because what I said basically is that I think of it as curating rather than collecting. And I kind of spoke about a bit of an analogy I have regarding like my jeans. So I don't know. I don't know whether that'll be interesting or helpful to anyone, but it was a thing that I was thinking at the time. Okay, a few people think that I should upload them. Well, they are uploaded. I just have to make them public. I haven't like got a title or a thumbnail or anything yet. All of that stuff I used to quite enjoy. I just dread now. As a blogger, I write when I feel drawn to. And then there's a stash there for the time when you need time to regroup. Yeah. Hi, Sandy. No obligations, pop up as you like, everybody else does. There's no agenda. Yeah. Missed your videos. Yes, please put them up. Love your videos. Thank you, Sandy. Hi, Paula. Pop by, drop by, stop by, however. Oh, that sounds like a fun song. Just be happy and let us know how you are every now and then. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at the moment, hey. And I'm glad you guys are open to it. I mean, I had a few people who thought that I was hypocritical or, I don't know, whatever, for like making my live video last time. They were like, you said you were going away. Why are you here? I was like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for taking up space on the internet. Because it's so small and I know I'm taking up so much space that, you know, you can't just go elsewhere. It must be so hard for you. No. So I only had a few people who were upset with me for making a live video, but for the most part, Most people were happy. I think more than that, it was people thinking I was coming back just to like make money off everyone. It's like, no, if I was gonna do that, I'd like, I don't know, do something else, not sell some of my old decks. Hello, I am well, thank you, Katie. You make the videos you want. Please don't feel the need to explain yourself to anyone, so I appreciate the content you put out. Thank you, Miles. You always know what to say to make me feel better. Thank you. People are ridiculous. They are a little bit sometimes, but, you know, I can be ridiculous too, so that's okay. We can all be ridiculous together. Oh. Hello, Marie. And newbie, please do what you think is best for yourself and don't let other people get you down. Everyone here will be so happy to see and hear from you no matter what. That's very nice. That's very generous. Yeah. I'm not really like letting people, what other people say, get me down. It's more just like this weird awareness that I have of, I don't know, the internet's just a weird place to be. Yeah. It's a weird place. I was actually talking to someone about like just the internet tonight because obviously, you know, going to high schools and talking to them about mental health, often social media comes up, and I found the dynamics of growing up and having MSN hard. I can't imagine what kids go through these days. But we're talking about how, you know, the internet is simultaneously like the greatest, most amazing thing and the most terrible. And I really feel that a lot of the time being online is that it's incredible and wonderful, and there's so many opportunities for connection and growth and learning and cultural exchange and all of the things, but also it means that people can be total assholes. And really not have to experience much in the way of consequences. And I think it also just, it does dehumanize us from one another. It's a weird thing. Like even just reading your comments, it's like I know you guys are there and I know that I'm talking to people, but it's really hard. I have to really actively kind of remind myself of that you're actually people sitting at, you know, your computer or watching on your phone. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a weird thing of how easy it is for us to disconnect. I don't know. I'm doing one of my internet rambly things. Hello, how are you, Mystic Aura? Sorry, I don't know everybody's names. I'm not good with names at the best of times, let alone when I only come on live like once every month. I do love tea. Anyone who acts ugly to you must have a really crap life. You are the nicest person I know. See, I'm really not a nice person. I think I said... the 12th Doctor is my favourite Doctor Who, and largely that is because he said something in his like last kind of big hurrah, which is basically my life motto and has been for a while. And I think I put something on like to the same effect I put on Instagram like months before he said it, and it was basically something along the lines of, you know, yeah, I always try to be nice but never fail to be kind. Like kindness is so much more important than niceness. But I also do think it's a lot harder. So I don't know. I don't know that I, like, thank you. That's a very nice thing to say. But I don't know that I want to be nice or to be viewed as nice. I'd rather be considered kind, which is what I try to do, but it's a lot harder. But yes, people can be very mean to me. They can be mean to everybody. Like, it's not just a me thing. I think I'm just one of the people who actually talk about it. I think a lot of people feel like they're not allowed to, because so often when you do, you get the comments like, oh, just ignore them, or that's just what happens on the internet. And I just don't think that's good enough. I think as a culture we have to, like, I think we need to not normalize it. We need to normalize the experience of creators, but not to normalize that behavior. And I think just ignore it also kind of minimizes our experience in the sense that, you know, if I get, you know, 20 emails in a day and, you know, 3 or 4 of them are mean or just shit or like long-winded, whatever. Like, I don't get like a little warning that says, this is full of shit, don't read it. Like, I have to open it and read it and then determine whether it's worth my time or not. Do you know what I mean? So I think the whole I'll just ignore it thing, I just don't see how that, like, unless you literally ignore every piece of content that gets thrown your way or every comment or every email, then you can't, like, just ignore it. Like, you've already invested your time into it. And I think, like, you obviously try not to absorb it, but I suppose I think that our time is just as valuable. And, like, there's that weird thing for me of, yeah, I can choose not to let it impact me perhaps, but it's already taken time and energy away from me. And so in that sense, I think, to me, it just seems like minimizing and dismissing when we're just like, oh, just ignore it. So maybe if somebody wants to go through my emails and let me know which ones to ignore, that would be helpful. But that's not really how it works. It's like that people have cameras on the phone and just photo and share that without asking others first. It's beyond wrong. People act without thinking these days. Yeah, it is a weird world. We do live in a... What is on my shirt? I just realized I'm picking up my shirt because there's something like in it, but I can't see it. Sorry. It's just really bothering me. I don't know what it is. I can't see it. Sorry, I'll find out later. I found this shirt at Savers, and I don't know if you probably can't see, but it's kind of like sweater material. It's like, but really quite thin. But on the collar it has like a bow. So it's like, you know, it's just a black top, but it's really cute. And I wore it with my black skirt that has pink and green polka dots. And obviously I looked adorable. With my little denim jacket. I was gonna wear my red shoes, but I get a bit worried about them with the rain, and it was raining a lot, so I decided to wear my little black boots instead. Now I've just told you about my outfit and I don't know why. Yeah. I have all these little toys next to me. We have so many plushies around our house, it's ridiculous. Do you have a real Christmas tree at the moment? I had a tree needle stuck in the seam for a sleeve for ages. Oh my god. No, I don't know, it's not really a big thing in Australia to have real Christmas trees. I think it's starting to be a bit of a fad, but like growing up, I don't know anybody who had one. So for the most part, we have plastic trees, but I just don't have a lot of space in my apartment. We used to have a really little one, but I don't know what I did with it. So no, I don't even have a Christmas tree. Mum and Dad have one, just like a small plastic one, but it's cute. So no Christmas trees, so no pine needles, but that would be very annoying. Question, during this time away from YouTube, do you still watch us on YouTube? I'm watching YouTube, but not so much the tarot community. A little bit, but not a lot. Like I still watch Kellyanne, but I've always watched Kellyanne. I just watched Jessie Huntingberg's, it's not Huntingberg, is it? It's Huntingberg. I'm sorry, Jessie. Her little like plan with me video, just because I like planners. And I've watched a couple, but no, I'm not like keeping up like I used to. I'm watching a lot more like K-pop reaction videos. And also like plan videos and like fountain pen videos and like fucking just more pop internet culture as well. Because I love me some pop culture, as you all know. So no, I'm a little bit out of the loop, I'm afraid. But I think I just needed it. I think I needed the space, which has been good for me. My tree is plastic too, save the trees, yeah. I mean, plastic isn't great either, is it? But I mean, if you have a plastic tree for most, like, you know, for 20 years, which, you know, I remember the one we had as kids, we have all photos of it every year of like John and I standing up next to it so we could like see us growing, which is cute because we had the same tree, I think, until I was about like 16 or something is the first time we got a new tree. So that lasted like at least, I don't know, Mum and Dad had it a few years before I was born. So it lasted them nearly 20 years. So yeah. Brush lettering rocks. Yeah, brush lettering is lovely. I'm not that good. But I do like, I just have, I bought a couple of fountain pens. Partly because, my job is basically note-taking. And so I just was going through pens like crazy and I just felt bad throwing out all of this plastic all of the time. So I bought myself a fountain pen, like a Twisby, because it holds a lot of ink. And I've been using that at work and it's really good. And then I just have this little, like it's just a Metropolitan, which is like the budget fountain pen. And I just love it. I love it. I love it. Partly because I think I'm going to have to stick with the Japanese pens because they have the finer nibs. Because I did get a, someone gave me a Lamy All-Star, which has an extra fine nib and it is just so big for me and my writing anyway. So I definitely like the Metropolitan. And actually the planner I'm using for this year is the Hobonichi Weeks. I did try a Hobonichi Cousin like quite a while ago and I did a video about it actually. And I remember saying I loved it, but I didn't love it. And I don't know what possessed me to try Weeks, but I'm obsessed. Because I've always been a bullet journaler, but I just felt like with my work and stuff now, I needed a little bit more structure and like that opportunity for pre-planning. And I suppose too, I've just been bullet journaling for years and I just wanted something a bit new. So when I found the Weeks, actually back before I got into bullet journaling, this kind of like the 7 days on one side and then a blank page, that's how I used to plan. So I really like that layout. But what made me kind of really get sold on the Weeks was I have the Weeks Mega, which has like 300 pages or something of just like blank note pages in the back, which means I can like bullet journal, like how I would normally bullet journal with collections and extra notes and stuff, but it's all still in one book, which has always been my thing. I just want one book. And I love it. And the other thing that I remember not loving about the Cousin was the paper. Like I loved it, but I didn't. And I think in part that was because of the pens I was using. I was still using the like felt tip pens that I was used to using in my bullet journal, which are fine. Like I know a lot of people do that, but I don't know, it just didn't quite work for me. But now that I have this Metropolitan, I love the Metropolitan in my Hobonichi, and I think part of that is just because it's small and because my writing's quite like, I don't know, you guys may be able to really see, but my writing's really quite fine. But also because you're not like pressing in with a pen. Like with a fountain pen, it just kind of like sits on the top of the paper, so you don't indent on the paper. And with the paper being so fine in the Hobonichi, that's made just quite a lot of difference to me, because you can still see through the page. Like you can see, like it ghosts, that's the word, isn't it? It ghosts through, but you don't get the indentation. So I don't know, I'm just really, I love it. I love it. So that's my, and I also love the fact that it's like half the size of my bullet journal. So it's really easy to just put in my bag. So that's my life at the moment, is my little Hobonichi. And actually I know what Blair got me for Christmas, because I bought it and then gave it to him to give to me. Is he's gotten me the fancy gift set box thingy of the Hobonichi, the 5 years journal. I've wanted a multiple year journal for a long time, but I could never find one that I really liked. I nearly got the Midori one at one point, but I don't know, it just felt not quite right. And then when I saw the Hobonichi one, I love that it's the 5 years on one page and then the other page is blank. And I know a lot of people are really confused about that and just kind of like extend the day for each year across the second page. And I'm like, no, that's brilliant, because not every day of every year is going to be like as interesting. You know, like on the 20th of December this year, I might literally just stay in bed all day. But then next year, maybe I'll like go on some amazing adventure. So I'll have more to write. So I'll be able to like have that space for extra. But anyway, yeah, it's like sitting in a cute little box. It has like a fancy little cover. So that's my Christmas present and I'm really looking forward to it. And I also know what my Secret Santa got me. Oh, because it's a bit hard for our family to get together to do the Secret Santa. So I always end up just doing it and texting everybody what their Secret Santas are, which means that I know. So next year we're going to do it differently because I just want to have one year where I'm surprised. But anyway, so I know who everybody's Secret Santas are. And my Secret Santa, who is my dad, he and I were at lunch one day. He's like, so I have, you know, somebody to get a Secret Santa present for, and I'm just not sure what to get them. And I'm like, oh yeah, Dad. And he's like, what do you want? So we went to Maya, and he's gotten me another teacup, because I have these, what are they, the Royal Albert, kind of like the decade, what are they? I don't remember, but they're kind of like the fancy design from each decade. And I have this one, which is the 1940s, which was the first one that I bought myself that I love. And then I bought the 1990s one because I'm born in 1990. And so it's just part of me is kind of want a few of the other ones because I love them. This is still my favorite, but I like the other ones. And so I think Dad, I told him that that's what I wanted, and Maya was having like a, what was it? It was 40% off and then 15% off on top of that. So it ended up being like $38 or something, which is crazy. Normally they're $80 or something. And he got me, I think he's getting me the 1920s one because that's when Nana was born, who was his grandmother, who basically raised him after his dad died, and then basically raised me because when Dad broke his neck, you know, Mum had to work and stuff. So she was like our favorite person. So I'm getting a teacup because we also have inherited our love of tea from her. So I'm getting a teacup from my dad that celebrates my Nana, who is our favorite person, which is just my favorite thing. So I'm getting a journal and a teacup for Christmas, which basically sums me up. Oh, bye, Billy. Sorry, I haven't been paying attention to the chat. Butterfly, my daughter loves BTS. Oh, yes. I'm obsessed. Like, I'm like balls deep obsessed. Like, I stayed up late to watch Mama last night, and they were so good. Oh my God. I mean, they came on last. And I just love, Anpan Man is like my favorite song at the moment. It's one of those ones that I just keep putting on repeat because it's so fun. It's such a bop. And I loved how, like, at the MMA, wait, what was the one last time? Yeah. You know, their show of Idol was just the most ridiculous, over-the-top, amazing thing. And then at Mama with Anpan Man, they just kind of, I don't know, it was epic, but not in the same over-the-top, showy way. It was just them being amazing, which I loved. So yeah, that's kind of my thing at the moment is BTS. And J-Hope is my bias. I'm in love with J-Hope. I love him so much. I love how he and Jimin are similar in the sense that they're both just sweet and ridiculous and dorky, but as soon as they're on stage, they like transform into just like sexy, crazy, passionate. They just transform into somebody else, and I just love that about them, especially J-Hope. Where was I up to? Well over 20 years old. Yeah, for the plastic trees, definitely. I used to decorate a tiny potted umbrella tree on my table for the season. That's cute. What's an umbrella tree? As in like the umbrella stand? No, because that wouldn't fit on your table. I don't know, I have to look this up, but that sounds amazing. Filofax junkie. Filofaxes are pretty. I have a few, but I can never get into them. I prefer notebooks, like hardbound books. I think because otherwise I overthink like the order and I can take this page out and put it in a different place. Whereas if it's just in a book and I write from the beginning to the back, I don't have to overthink it quite as much. Plus the rings get in my way. And the book always ends up being like twice as big as the actual paper you have. So I feel like I'm being ripped off with how much space it's taking up in my bag. But they are pretty. They are pretty. The original site is a lot more manageable. What's that? What original site? I'm confused. Hello Morgan. I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, I missed it. I have a similar cup to that one, yes. Teacups are the best. Hello, Carmen. Is it just Carmen? But Carmen. I bought the Wee Moon and I'm so disappointed in the layout. So I'll be returning to my love of bullet journaling, but I'm not going to be so hard on myself. Ah, the Wee Moon, I've always been curious about that one. But a lot of those ones are very Northern Hemisphere centric. And so I always get to like I put them in the cart and then I'm like, oh, but by the time I get shipping and everything, it's like $40 and... But the Wee Moon one is the really pretty one, isn't it? With all like the lovely artwork and stuff. So that's a shame that it didn't work out for you because it is really lovely. Can you like use the artwork or is that the one with like the poems and stuff as well? Can you use that in something else? I don't know. Like who is it? Jessica the Story Witch? No. She does these really cool bullet journal videos where she kind of put different bits from other journals in. Is that her? Oh god, I'm going blank because I haven't watched anyone in so long. I really like her videos though, and her voice is so lovely. Sorry, I spelled your name wrong. We'll try to do better next time. Hey, what are you talking about? I'm confused. Oh, you don't have to apologize for spelling my name wrong. That's totally fine. Like autocorrects. But I was just wondering, you said the original site is a lot more manageable. That's what I wasn't sure what you were saying. I wasn't getting upset with you. I'm sorry. It's gorgeous. Yeah. Sorry, the original site comment was about the comment on how overwhelming the bullet journal craze can seem. It was originally conceived to be very simple. Yeah, I totally agree. That's why mine has always been very simple. I think like the first time I tried bullet journaling, I did the whole over the top thing and it didn't last very long. So that's why, I mean, I've done 2 or 3 bullet journal videos now and my bullet journals are pretty, I mean, they have a little bit going on, but for the most part, they're pretty simple. And that's why, because I'm a perfectionist and then I overthink everything and then I give up because it's too hard. So I've definitely found keeping things simple is the best option. And I love bullet journaling. I love the system because it's so simple. And I mean, I think it's cool that some people can have really pretty journals and stuff. I'm a little bit envious of them, but we'll have to do what works for us. Yep, I'll use it as collaging. Yeah, that's a good idea. Hi, Sammy. How are you? I think I overthink the hand lettering too. Yeah, I kind of do like really, I haven't in my new weeks, but in my bullet journal, I do kind of like I cursive write, but like bigger, and then I go back and kind of like double over on the downstrokes, and that's like as fancy as it gets. So it looks kind of cool, but it was more just so that I had something that stands out as like a heading so that I can see when I'm flipping through. And also it kind of satisfied just that little bit of me that wanted something just a bit pretty. But other than that, like the proper, like, you know, brushed lettering and like the calligraphy, and I'm like, ugh. Just all gets a bit much, especially when like the whole point of it is to just jot down an appointment that you have, or to remind yourself of that you need to do the washing, you know. Yeah, kind of, at least for me, defeated the purpose a little bit. Like, it's one thing to have an art journal, but to me that needs to be separate from my diary. That's been my experience anyway. But everybody's different. I think it's cool if you can put the two together. Just not something I'm very good for. I do a lot of the same thing. Double the downstrokes, as fancy as you get. Yeah. I live for detailed art. Yeah. Yeah, but you're an artist, Sammy. So like that's your thing. For us mere mortals, it can all feel a bit much. I completely agree. It was a trial and error. I think that's the thing. I think I I don't think we give ourselves enough permission just with journals and diaries and things to experiment and trial and error stuff. Because I mean, like, you have, like, I've been doing that in my weeks already. Oh god, the trams, they can be really noisy, can't they? Like, in my weeks, I'm literally 3 weeks in and each week has been different, and I'm okay with that. Although I will say that I've always found it easiest, like, in retrospect, I find it, for me, best to start simple and then add stuff. So then if it doesn't work, I know what to take away, as opposed to starting with all of the things and then being like, this doesn't work, what do I do? So that's kind of like, if anybody is at all like me, that would be my only advice, is to be okay with changing things up and trying things different, like different things from week to week, day to day, whatever. But just start simple and you'll kind of notice things. Oh, actually, I would also like this, or oh, this could be fun, and trial that for a week or a day or whatever. As opposed to, yeah, starting with all of the things. I was so tired of carrying around 3 to 4 different journals, oh my god, for different things everywhere. I was trying to combine witchy art, tarot, and daily planner. Yeah, that's pretty intense. Yeah, I refuse. I've always been like, I only want to carry one book. That is it. And so that's why I was doing bullet journaling, because all of the journals that I like the diaries, they didn't really have all that blank page in the back. And if they did, there was like 10 blank pages, which is nothing for a whole year, right? So that's why like this week's has kind of changed my life. I'm like, oh, I can have like a diary and blank pages all in this little book. What? It's like my dream come true. I love it. I love it so much. It is funny how heavy it is though. Like, this is heaps heavier than my other book that is twice as big. And I understand that that's because, you know, there's a lot more pages in this thing. It's just that the pages are so thin that but it's just, it was kind of surprising to me how, it's not like a brick. It's still fine in your bag, but just, yeah, it's quite hefty for the size, which is cool. It kind of feels good. I want to thank you for all the information and clearing of so many misconceptions, because I always felt the pull of magic, but only recently started investigating and investing time researching. Oh, well, that's cool. I'm glad that I kind of might have helped in some way, but it's cool that you're on that journey for yourself. I hope it's working out for you. What I like about the bullet journal is when I totally forget about it for 2 or 3 months. Yes, I don't waste any paper. I'm totally like that too, and that's why I was a little bit hesitant about getting the weeks. Because that is another thing for me. It's like, if I'm unwell or whatever, and I'll go weeks without using it. And then if it's a diary, often I remember I used to feel like, well, I fucked this, I have to start a new one. Whereas with a bullet journal, like, it's literally just turn over the page and start again. But I'm hoping with this one, because it's a week's, it's not so often that I go a whole week without not needing something. But even so, I'm going to really push myself to be okay with having a couple of blank weeks here and there. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I still have my bullet journal if worse comes to worse and I need to return. But I am really enjoying my week so far. I'm still trying to start a journal, but I'm kind of messy, so I don't want to ruin it. Yeah, I get that. I think you just have to embrace your nature as a messy person. And I do think you can ruin it. Because what I've always said, people used to always say that my bullet journal was beautiful and oh my god, it looks so amazing. Like, I'm not trying to flex here, but it's just a lot of people would say that to me if there was like a photo on Instagram or something, and I'm like, dude, no, like, have a close-up of, you know, just one page on its own. My writing isn't that neat. There's nothing particularly interesting going on. What I think is impressive, and I think Benabel Wen said something about this too with her Book of Shadows. I mean, I think that is impressive, but she was saying, and what I agree with, was often it's like the whole collection. Like, what is impressive and beautiful to us is a book that is full, that somebody has taken the time to fill up. And so that's kind of what I try to remind myself of, especially with journals, that it's not, I mean, for people like fancy artists like Sammy, sure, like, you know, they can get all fancy with their pretty colors and stuff. But for us mere mortals, as I said, I think it's important just to remind ourselves that just filling a book up is a beautiful, beautiful sacred act in and of itself. And at the end of that book, just having all of those words all of those little doodles and scribbles and whatever, that's amazing. That's beautiful. And that's been my, you know, even when I go back and look at journals that I thought were boring and ugly, just kind of flipping through and being like, these are full of words and thoughts that I put on paper. I don't know, there's something really cool about that. Even when I think it's messy. In retrospect, I always like it. Where was I up to? I only carry one bullet journal planner, but I have way too many notebooks. Yeah. Yeah, I can relate to that. That's why I can't get down with the wee moon. Is that how you say it? Is it wee moon or way moon? I'm just gonna say wee moon, okay? Because that's what I've heard other people say. It's not enough room. I've been adding pages because there's not enough room and no monthly layout. No monthly either. Oh, wow. So it's just the weekly. Fair enough. I'd struggle with that too. I'm so glad to see that others jump in and out of using bullet journal too. I've been neglecting mine. Now I don't feel so bad. No, do not feel bad. Don't feel bad. Embrace the mistakes. Yes. Just start out making a list of things to do for the day. Yeah. Sammy. My favorite journal is a hodgepodge of shit that I made myself. Yes, those are my favorite. They're like, if I want to look through something, that's my favorite sort of thing to look through too. It's just a hodgepodge, a mix, or whatever. I agree, just fill it up. Mess is beautiful. It is. Molly Herspeak's art is chaotic and messy and gorgeous. Yeah, she's done some interesting like journal, book of shadowy sort of videos, hasn't she? I haven't watched her in a long time, but I remember seeing those sort of things from her. She inspired me to make my own book, so I made the cover. Wow, and all the pages. That's amazing. Spell work next to shopping list. Very cool, very cool. I have to drink my tea. It's getting cold as hell. You know when it just like kind of crosses that line? Yeah, I don't know if I want it anymore. Might just sit it up here. Oh, it crossed the line. There's no going back. I had to blow my nose. Oh wow, it's getting late. I might go watch some more BTS live things and J-Hope fan cams and fall asleep. Well, thanks for hanging out with me, everybody. Unless you have any other questions for me. I know this hasn't really been like a Q&A or anything, but if you have any questions for me, I'm happy to answer them. But otherwise, I might get ready for bed. I have so many notebook journals, meditation, spiritual, tarot, counseling, and I refer back to them a lot. So I'm going to make some homemade oracle cards from what I've learnt. Oh, that's amazing. That's really cool, making your own deck from all of the things that you've learnt. That's a great idea. Will you create the art, or will it kind of be more like a collage-y thing or a word thing? I do love the idea of a homemade deck. Just not really, I don't know, I don't really feel like I could do it, but maybe that's like a, you know, a self-imposed judgment thing that I need to get over. Who knows? Who knows? Gonna try and draw. Wow, that's amazing. Well, good luck with it. It sounds like it's quite a project, quite the endeavor, but I'm sure it'd be really rewarding. I think it's great that you have that plan. Very ambitious. I'll try start today, the journal, and thank you again. Yeah, do it. Just start today. It's a great motto. I'm so happy you did this. I was missing you. Oh, thank you, Paula. That's very nice. Feel a little intimidated by the drawing. Yeah, I'm the same. Drawing scares me, but that's okay. I feel like it's one of those things that sure people have like a natural aptitude for, but I think it's definitely one of those things that you can learn. I mean, maybe you won't be the next, like, I don't know any really famous drawer. I don't know. Maybe you won't be like the next world famous drawer, but I think it's definitely something you can learn. to be like competent at. It was great to see you. Thank you. You too. Hi, Kate. Okay. Yes, stickers. I have a few stickers, although I have to be careful in the weeks because it's such a little notebook that it will bulk up. But I get those transparent and washi stickers, so then it's not as bad. But they're adorable. Look, I got this little one with the girl on the bike, because you know how I love bike riding. And they're all just so cute. They're so cute. And I got this little one with like trees for when we did a bushwalk. Although I don't think we ended up doing the bushwalk, but that was the plan. But anyway, stickers are adorable. They're great. Enjoy J-Hope. I will. Don't you worry. Oh God, I'm so like... I was thinking of trivia tonight that I really don't know a lot about a lot of things, but I know a lot about the things that I really care about. And I think BTS is becoming one of those things. That's why I was mad that there was no Harry Potter questions, there was no Doctor Who questions or sci-fi questions at all. There was no Eurovision questions. Like, what am I doing here? Like, why am I here? Stickers are a great idea, I agree. I have 2-year-old stickers, never last as mine. I'm too much of a pushover. What is a bushwalk? A bushwalk is like a walk in the bush. I actually was having this conversation with someone that I think in America you would call it hiking, but to me hiking is like a much bigger deal. Like hiking would be, you know, going up a mountain or a several day hike. Bushwalking is kind of like the in-between. It's like what we do is we go out to the bush, which is, I don't know, it's not, bush in Australia is kind of what we call the outback, our wilderness areas, I suppose, like our natural habitat, because unless you're up in the tropics, you know, it's not forest, so it's kind of like shrubby, like gum trees, and I don't know, so a bush, that's the bush, and then a walk is a walk in the bush, and so and it tends to be kind of like a day thing. So yeah, our bushwalks are anywhere from 2 to 7 hours of just a walk in the bush. That's a bushwalk. Yeah. So that's a very common term here in Australia. It's so funny how like our words, I don't even think about words like that, and people are like, what's a bushwalk? And I'm like, what do you mean what's a bushwalk? But it is, it's just cultural differences, and what words are normal to me might not be normal to you. But yeah, from what I gather, it's basically, it would be synonymous with what you call hiking, I think. But to me, hiking is a bigger deal. Like hiking is not like a day walk. But I hope does that explain it a little bit? It's a walk in the bush. The Australian bush. What was I up to? Like a nature walk. Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah. Or a hike. Yeah. Somewhere in between the two. My 3-year-old loves stickers. Who doesn't love stickers? If your 3-year-old didn't love stickers, I'd be concerned. Stickers are great. You say bushwalk all the time, but we don't say that. I need to know. Yeah. So I hope that explains it a little bit. Forest. Why is there a question mark? Do you not know what is forest a foreign word to you too? Forest is like dense tree, like dense trees, but it's a certain type of, I don't know the definition, but like a rainforest is a really specific, the woods are a bit different, at least in my understanding. Woods, like, woods kind of maybe would be like the equivalent to bush for us, I'm thinking. I don't know. It's weird, isn't it? It's weird. But forest, yeah, that's more dense trees as opposed to like bushes and shrubs. And yeah, where I'm from, like we had the Daintree rainforest, which, because it's a rainforest, it's it's a different world. It's weird once you get in there. It's like humid and the sounds are different and like the air just feels different, and yeah, rainforests are cool. Really humid though, and the mozzies, they're terrible. The insects are mean, but it's beautiful and very green. I think we adopt the term bushwalk. We say hike here, but that sounds too athletic. Yeah, so when somebody says hike, I think of something quite adventurous, like, you know, that you need proper gear for, and like I think of like the sticks, you know, that people like drag themselves up hills with, and, you know, like carrying like big, I don't know, just no. No, that's not for me, that's not for me. Going walking in the woods, yeah. No, I typed that when you were trying to associate. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Fair enough, Sammy. I understand now. I was like, you don't know what a forest is? Are you sure we speak the same language? It's just English, right? Like, I understand the bush thing. Like, that's a very Australian thing. But a forest? I'm glad we cleared that one up. From where I'm from, it's called... I don't want to pronounce that and offend everybody. Like a forest walk and hiking. And it doesn't separate if it is up a hill, flat, or land. Yeah, cool. Like, we still go up hills and stuff, but I'm more like, they're not exceptionally difficult. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need special equipment. Yeah. Like, we'll walk up a hill, but it's not like scaling a mountain. Yeah. Mosquitoes, you say mozzies. Yeah, we say mozzies. Skeeters? Really? I've never heard that before. Yeah, we say mozzies. Mosquitoes, mozzies. And we have midgies too, which are the worst. They're tiny, but oh my god, it's like just itchy. The worst itch. We don't use the word bush. I think somebody was out saying, is bush like the forest? Yeah. Hike is too athletic, yes. I come from a place of mean insects as well. Yeah, insects are evil. My bushwalk would be walking on a paved path with trees and bushes nearby, and hopefully benches to rest on every so often. I'm 65 with bad knees. Yeah. See, some bushwalks, I don't know, like, they're all different, I suppose, but ours are normally not paved, but they'd be kind of, you know, like, they're cleared paths. It's not like we have to, you know, make our own path. It'll just be like a track through the bush. That's what bushwalk is. But yeah, there's all different levels and types of bushwalks. I think just for everything, hey. And I think it's just nice that we can get out and enjoy beautiful nature and breathe some lovely fresh air and see some cool animals and flowers and stuff. That's what I like about it. But anyway, I'm glad we cleared that up, what a bushwalk is. And I'm glad we also cleared up that Sammy knows what a forest is. Greenways. I've not heard that term before. Is that... like we... yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard greenways before. But it is interesting how we all have such different names for basically the same thing. Like, I suppose bush, like we call it the Australian bush, like that's a pretty specific, like I know what, it's hard for me to describe what the bush is, but if somebody says the bush, like I know exactly what that is in my head. Do you know what I mean? It's gum trees and shrubs and the smell of eucalyptus and kind of like the dry land, but yeah, it doesn't always have to be dry, but it often is. Like, yeah, the bush is a very specific, like, it's not a forest, but yeah, like, it's a really, really, really specific type of environment that I'm very familiar with and that I love dearly. They are planned, they're cleared a path through the city. Oh. So it's like a green patch that goes through a city. That's interesting. Very cool. That sounds like a green belt. Ah. It's a certain percentage of area within the city that must be kept for greenery. Green belts. See, we just call them a park. But yeah, no. I've heard green belt before. But yeah, we would just call it a park. The dry talk is making me jealous. It's snowing where I am at the moment. I would love to see snow. Like, I've seen old snow on the ground, but I've never seen it actually snow. And I haven't seen like fluffy pretty snow because it was like old and gross. But it was still exciting. But I've never, yeah. I would love to see it snowing. It just, to me, I think I told Sammy that deer to me like seem like magical fairy tale creatures. It's kind of how I feel about snow. Like, it just seems like really magical. I suppose because it's just so far out of my own experience that I see it in movies, like, you know, around Christmas, and it's like this magical time, and all of a sudden it starts snowing and everyone's like, oh, it's romantic and it's magical and it's beautiful. And to me it might as well be in Narnia. You know, well, it is in Narnia, but do you know what, like, it almost feels mythical, I suppose, is what I mean. I think I told Sammy that deer are basically like unicorn to me. Because they, like, I think I've seen a deer, but like in a zoo. But that was a long time ago. Like basically our deer equivalent would be like a kangaroo. Like, that's normal to us, like something running around in the outback, you know, eating grass. That's a kangaroo. But then I'm sure to most of the world, kangaroos are fucking weird. They're pretty weird. They're great though. Especially like the big beefy ones that'll kill you. They're funny though. Just don't piss them off. I see deer in my backyard. Are you serious? That's fucking crazy. Snow is magic until it's not. Snow and cold for about 8 months of the year is a bit much, but upside it means that the bugs are kept small and not poisonous. That is a good thing. Yeah. Where I'm from in Townsville, it's basically the opposite. It was hot and humid for 8 months of the year. Whereas in Melbourne, we really have quite good seasons. Like, I don't know. And that's what I say to people, like, they complain when it gets hot here. And I'm like, yeah, it does get hot. Like, you know, we can get, you know, easily a 45-degree day. But I enjoy it. Even when we got like those 51-degree days, like, everyone was like, what? I cannot survive. And I know they're dangerous for, you know, like the elderly and stuff, but just for personally, I really enjoyed it because I knew that it was only going to be 3 or 4 days of really hot, and then it would go back to being 25 degrees, you know? So as opposed to Townsville, where it's just like, okay, it's just constantly 40 degrees and 90% humidity. This is your life now. I don't know. You can kind of enjoy the hot and enjoy the cool because, you know, it's going to change. I don't know. So I like that about Melbourne. Because people say they love Melbourne but hate the weather. I'm like, no, I love Melbourne and love the weather. I'm not going to have fun driving home from work in it. Oh, the snow. Yeah, that'd be scary because it gets all slippery and stuff, doesn't it? Deer eat my garden, but that's okay with me. Deer are common here, but still magical. Yeah. I'm going to sound like a horrible person, but the deer make me nuts. Why? Is that because they like eat stuff and poop everywhere or something? They are so used to people feeding them. They are pretty obnoxious. I live in a tourist area, so they aren't afraid of people at all. That's funny. I think people think that like kangaroos are just jumping around like in the middle of Melbourne. That's not true. But, you know, if you go out, even just into like the outer suburbs, you'll see them. But they can be quite dangerous because we used to do a lot of road trips through the outback, and especially the big reds, like, they're massive, and they'd get spooked by the lights and so jump into your car, and like they cause really bad accidents. Especially because along the road, because the road will have the, like, you know, ditches on either side where the water will collect, so that'll be like the only bit of green grass for them to eat, so they kind of hang out by the side of the road. And they can be really big. Like, the big reds are bigger than a man. Like, they're huge when they stand up. They can be quite aggressive too. But the smaller roos, like the grey and the brown roos, you'll see around, just hopping about. They're cute. They are cute. And especially the smaller ones, they can be pretty friendly, but they might bite you or something. Or more often than not, they just hop away. But the big reds, you don't fuck with them. Just steer clear of a big red if you see a big red. Because they can, I mean, they're not like a crocodile. They're not like, holy shit, run for your life scary, but just don't fuck with them. Because they can kick you really hard. Plus they're just massive, so they're terrifying. Even just walking out of the house, they come right up. Aww. Deer do the same thing. That would be so cute to see the kangaroos hopping around. They are pretty cool. I do like them. I just like their big ears and how they kind of like, they'll move. Yeah, I don't know. They are pretty cool. Do like the roos. Especially when you see a joey in a mum's pouch. Like that just never gets old. We have some pretty cool animals. We do. Koalas are another one that people have a really strange idea about. Like, I think people think koalas are like these little fluffy, cuddly, sleepy little things, which they kind of are. But I don't know if you've ever heard them fight. It's the most ridiculous, horrific noise you've ever heard. And they can be quite violent. And pretty much all of them have chlamydia. Yay, Australia. And wombats. I think people think wombats are really cute little things too, but they're fucking massive. And a lot of the time they get hit by cars because their defense mechanism is to like put their butt towards their predator, because their hind, like their hide is really tough. And so if they're on the road and you're driving and you scare them, they just kind of like will stay there being like, ugh, and then you hit them. So there's a lot of wombats get killed on the roads, but they're quite big. Like, they're really quite big. They're funny looking things. I think our cute animals would be things like our bilbies and our possums and stuff. But even the possums, we had a lot of possums where I'm from in Brisbane, and God, their piss smells so bad. And the noises they make at night, whether it's mating or fighting, like, you can never tell. They're so loud. Just a 101 on how weird Australian animals are for you. The only animals I see here, because I moved to another country, are bugs. Ooh. Ooh. My cousin has been living in Australia for the past year from Chile. Oh, where's your cousin living? Do you mind me asking? You don't have to give me their address, just like a rough location. Yeah. I feel like I've lived in a few different places, all on like the eastern half of the country, but all very different parts. Yeah. Oh, I'm getting tired. I love the wildlife where I am, but just like tearing up my garbage. Bear, raccoons, coyotes, but my favorite is seeing the fox and owls. See, those are all animals that seem really magical to me too. I know we have foxes here, but I've never really seen them. And owls, I've never really seen an owl either. I know we have them, obviously. But raccoons, they seem like cartoon jokes to me, not real. Kind of like skunks. I think of them as like jokes in cartoons. Like deer I think of as magical, mythical unicorns, and skunks and raccoons I think of as cartoon jokes. I know they're not. Don't at me. But it's just kind of like when I think of them, that's what I think of, is weird, funny little cartoon characters. Basically, I live in the northern forest. Squirrels, deer, birds, chipmunks. Chipmunks are another one that are, like, they're not real. They're cartoons. Chipmunks. How are those things real? Koalas feel like an old lady wearing too much. That is my new favorite way to describe koalas. Koalas feel like an old lady wearing too much hairspray. Also, they have chlamydia. I think he's in Melbourne, not sure. I'm in Melbourne. Melbourne's great. I love Melbourne. Because here in Uruguay, there are many months of the year where it's cold or very cold and there are not many animals around. So when summer comes, all the bugs come out of hiding. Fair enough. Fair enough. You might think raccoons are little and cute, but they are giant and will tear up your trash. Skunks are very real and stinky. I live in a Caribbean island, so I got the ocean right next to me. Nice, nice. I have one who lives under my house, and he has made friends with my animals through the sliding doors. That's cute. What was that though? A fox or an owl or something, or a raccoon? I don't know. So many animals, right? Anyway, I was gonna head off half an hour ago, but instead we got chatting about animals and the bush, which was great, but I'm getting tired. I have to approve that comment, Kate, and I am going to because I appreciate it. Raccoons will fuck your shit up. Oh, too funny. Well, thanks for hanging out with me and laughing for an evening. Oh, what's this? If you have a dog, they will always get sprayed by a skunk. Oh, really? Oh, that's so funny. I live around deer, skunks, possums, squirrels, foxes, chipmunks, moles, mice, etc. I live in Chile 5 months of the year. In San Diego, you see only birds of all kinds there. No critters. Ah, well, that's cool. We have a lot of really beautiful birds because, you know, we're a lot of parrots are native to our area. So even just like down here, we don't get like the really big rainbow, like tropical birds, but we get like a lot of galahs and cockatoos and stuff. A lot of people didn't know what I was talking about because I was reading a book about galahs and the lucky galah, and people were like, what's a galah? I was like, it's a bird. It's like, if you think of an Australian bird, you would think of a cockatoo and a galah. Like those are some of the first that you'd think of. They're very similar. A galah's a bit smaller but pink and white instead of like white with the yellow. And they're noisy as fuck. They don't have an as loud screech as some of the bigger parrots, but they collect in big groups and they're still very noisy. So they're really, 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 really loud. But they're beautiful. I love them. I'm in Michigan. Yes, on the dogs and ketchup. Oh no, don't apologize. I'm enjoying this. I live in the USA part of the year, Chile the other half is what I meant. Yeah, no, that makes sense. So different types of flora and fauna. That's really cool that you get to experience all that and experience all that different stuff. My daughter is in Michigan. Ah, very cool. All right, well, thank you for the 3 or 4 of you who are staying up to chat with me about animals. It's been lovely. I'm really glad I came on. Even if we did end up talking for heaps longer. Oh no, you guys are gonna become BFFs now. Okay. Well, I don't know, I don't want to close off the chat if you guys are chatting, but I'm ready for bed. I'm ready to go watch some more J-Hope fan cams. Oh, thank you all. Thank you so much. Yes, come to Australia. Just, you know, be careful. Oh, thank you. Okay, well, good night, everybody. I don't know when I'll see you next, but I might put up those other videos. Just know that they were filmed a long time ago. But anyway, thank you and good night. I hope you're all well. Have fun, be safe, all of that. Love you.